not only is it early, but we're getting uh, a bit personal in the sense that I don't know what it is. I kind of decided on the weekend, because it's Monday, to bring out also the Celtic costume because there were a couple of things I needed to finish. But I put it away because I was working on the Snow White one that needed all of the bases and a lot of stuff. So I brought the whole thing out. I've been ironing it because there's a lot of different pieces. And now that I have it here, with the Snow White costumes as well, all of it out here, I have a weird feeling. I don't know how to feel because the thing is, in many ways, I'm really happy and excited that I was able to do a lot and that I was able to genuinely work on a lot of stuff and kind of go forward with the whole project, not just one costume but two costumes, both of them. And then there is the Celtic one that has also the different versions for summer and for winter. And yet at this point, when I have all of the bases and all I need to do is finishing with details and, small additions, I don't know how to feel because there's a part of me that I'm not going to lie, and not to get too, again, personal and kind of emo, but that's the reality. I think I'm terrified of finishing a project because I've never actually fully finished a project, especially a project that goes from head to toe in detail. Like, it's genuinely, I made basically the whole thing. And I think the reason why I'm so terrified is because I'm afraid of mediocrity, and I'm afraid that I do something all the time, which is looking at it and thinking, I could have done better. I could, if I had the money, I could have brought more details and could have more material to work with. And so I could have done it better. And then I look, of course, on social media, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, whatever you want. And people are so, so good at what they do. And they have sometimes more access to certain materials that I don't. So of course I get a bit like, oh damn, mine is not that good. And I fall into this comparison that, considering it's a creative project, and even though I'm taking as point, in the case of Snow White, for example, a character, well, two characters, yes, sure, a comparison can be made, but at the same time, I need to kind of remind myself and work and keep on going and saying it's your thing. Like, it's something that you made and it has value for that. Because the thing is, even I that kind of try to work on the idea that not everything is a competition, not everything's about who is the best. Considering something that, again, I made, it's something that I made. So I cannot really logically compare it with something that anyone else in the world has made because they made their thing. And that thing that they made is as important and it has its story and it has its value for it. Similar with mine, but I kind of struggle when it comes to my stuff. I'm overly judgmental of it. And of course, at this point, I think I kind of get into this place where I'm like, instead of finishing it, because of the terrifying idea of looking at the whole finished product and just seeing all of the things that I could have added, that I could have done better, I kind of don't finish it. So yeah, that's kind of the mental issue we have right now. But I'm still gonna try and do it and finish it and kind of push myself to do it. At the same, because here's the thing, at the same time that I am still overly judgmental, a lot of what I did and how I did it was made in order for it not to be fully attached, in the sense that I could actually just undo the whole thing. I could. I could undo every single piece, take out every single thread. I could do that and I could start again. But I also think it's important for me to finishing this project, considering it is in a twist of events, something that I have actually been working on for months since last year when I got the idea for the first time. It's something that I've never done before, actually. And I think this blog has helped me quite a lot on keeping up with it, actually. So I feel that I should do this. I should finish it for the sole purpose of finishing a creative thing that I've made. And that's it. without thinking about its value, without thinking about the comparison with other things. I'm been making something and I need to finish it. And yes, just for the experience of finishing something. I'm trying to give my mind out of the competition and the comparison with others. So yeah, I know it's also Monday, so okay, I have a quick update because I've decided that in order not to get too chaotic, because I mean, at this point, I'm kind of taking from here and here and not focusing on anything. So I decided that I divided all of the pieces that I need to work on finish, basically. And I have divided it like this. And the idea is that I just choose one. And unless it's something like painting or gluing something on that you need to wait, I would prefer to take something and do everything I need to do and just take it off here. And there's a couple of things that again I need to glue things in or that I need to paint over. So those are things that I'm doing like sideways. So I do the painting, I leave it aside, or I glue the thing and leave it on the side, and then I take something and fully do it. And yeah, the only thing though is that there's a couple of things in here that I'm kind of debating because of the thing that I have been saying for so long. I want to put the whole thing on, but I decided, you know what? What I decided to do, the tiny additions that I decided to do, let's just go for those ones. So that's it. We're just going to go for that thing. And then if I finish everything, hopefully, it's not really that much. I know it looks like there's a lot of things, but it's just a division so I can kind of take off and feel, a bit of dopamine rush because I finished something. So that's basically the idea, that I'm finishing what I set myself to do, the basic stuff with the details I decided, and I can take it off. Then hopefully by doing it this way, I feel a bit more control of everything that has been going on. I know what's missing, I know what to do. And then once I finish the whole thing, I can put it on. And if there's any extra additions, that's fine. But if not, because of time, because I don't feel like it, what I did, I did. So yay! Okay, today I want to show you that I'm working on the shoe covers. So the original one that I made in black, and it is just a cover of a shoe. And it's very simple, to be honest. This part in here is open because it is that you put the foot inside as if it were a sack, and then you cover up the shoe. And then I attach, because I had a lot of pieces like this black, I decided to cover them up and allow them to be like round the foot. So that's the vibe that this one does. For this one, however, because I had a more limited amount of fabric, I wanted to use as much as I could. So the baseline, the thread, it's the same. The yellow part is the one that's gonna go from here to here, attach, and from here to here. This pair remains open, and this one is of course the seams of each part as well as the upper part in here. Now this line here I actually added because I did a sort of folding that it's gonna add just a line that it kind of just gives a more of an extra addition to it. There's nothing functional about it, it just looks like it's made a little bit different. And then my idea is that I cut up all the way to here, and then this part remains open. This is one that I need to sew in, and now I want to show you the one that I already did. So as you can see it over the other one, this is of course looks smaller because first of all this is the right side, the outer side, but also because this one has the extra seam in here. That is the one that, it's in here, it's wrong, it's actually more perpendicular actually to the bottom line. So yeah, I just wanted to show you how it looks at the end. Of course I still have all of the threads to cut, but as you can see also in this part, I haven't cut any excess. Maybe I just cut in here because this is a part that it wasn't useful at all, but I try to use as much of the fabric that I have. And this one, a difference from the black pair is that this is more of a simple thing. that I wanted to give more the idea of a boot. So once you, again, leaving this open, you put the foot inside to cover up the shoe, and then this goes wrapping around in a more simple manner. And yeah, that was kind of my idea of a sort of boot that covers up. Again, all of this in order to avoid having to buy shoes. You can just cover whatever shoe is more comfortable for the person. There is also an order in order to attach all of the pieces without needing to go over some things. Now the first one I do is this one. I attach both pieces and then I do the internal seam to close it. And as you can see, I do this one on the inside and then I do the other one on the outside. You can do whatever seam you want to do, the French one or the classical one, whatever you want to do, but this is absolutely the first one. By doing this, you're attaching both parts as well as already putting in place this and this folding. Next one is this extra piece that I do here, because I need to do them separately. And after I sort in that piece, that it's basically this, very simple, then I attach this part all the way to here. So from this bottom line to this one. So here especially I like to add a double, sometimes even triple stitch over in order to make it very strong, considering this part here is going to be open and you might move a lot. So for security reasons, I like to do a bit of an extra pointing here. Next we have the cutting. So then I cut on this part all the way to here, and then I have this extra piece. Now this one I cut because it's extra piece, and then I do the folding here and here, and then I can do all of the sides. So I can pass through this whole thing all the round, and then I can do the same at the bottom, going down here to finish each piece, and then that's it. That's how you have the final one. That is this one. Yay! I don't know if you noticed, I did a double one in here, just for fancies, to be honest. Yeah, some updates already. And the thing is, I was able to put everything on, and as you can see, most of the things are done. Because the reality is that when I put it on, I was like, I think this is okay. I don't feel the need to add that much into it. Like looking at it, I'm not like, oh, I could add this here. It's like, it's fine, but I'm not denying that I might find something or I might think about something and decide to add to it. But as it is, it's kind of done. The things that I'm left to do is this one that is half open because it's the hood. The hood on itself, it's a simple thing, but it is a hood. So it adds as it is. So I'm not particularly thinking about adding too much to it, but I don't want to close it because I don't know, I still need to be a bit more certain about it. The other thing is the hair, because I decided to use a wig, more volume, more hair to, do the whole, the trick to, sell the idea of a princess. And I need to kind of check that out because I want to do a hairstyle, but I need to figure out if I can do it and keep it on the wig. So whenever I have to put it on, I just have to put on the wig and that's it. Or if not, I need to figure out how to do it every time and the accessories, because I have a couple of things that I made that I want to add to the hair. So I need to figure that thing out. And that's for me, because this other thing that's missing here is the shoe cover that I need to use the other person because I need to measure it. And I need to kind of deal with how exactly it's going to get close. But overall, I need the other person in any case, as well as with this one, which I added, which is accessories. Because for me, it's done. They were kind of a big part of the inspiration for the whole thing. But for this other person, I got out some things, some rings, some necklaces, some bracelets, some things for the hair, because that's something that I would like to add to the costume to give that whole, pulled together thing. And yeah, it's a really weird sensation. Also because, I also brought out the Celtic one. Long story short, I brought it out and I ironed it and it's all done and hanging next to the Snow White one.
And there was a couple of things that I need to finish actually, but as I'm finishing it, I'm like, I'm finishing it. And this is a year after I actually began with this whole thing, where the whole idea began, especially of Snow White, because the Celtic one began like a week before Halloween. And so, yeah, it's a really weird sensation. I'm still kind of dealing with it because, again, in a way, I'm happy because I'm finishing something, and something that is not just one costume, it's basically a total of 4 costumes, 4.5 if you count the summer version of some of these things. And yeah, I feel really weird out. I mean, for the Celtic one, there's a couple of things that I'm missing yet. In terms of accessories, that's why it's in this one, because it reminds me that it's not just for that one, but for the other one. But in any case, the vast majority, it's done. And as you can see down there, it's the 11th. So that's also another thing that I think is tripping me out. The idea that I'm not only finishing, but I could finish even before the week of Halloween. It's really weird, but anyway, in any case, I do wanted to also say that I started to think about the fact that it's been a year that I have come and go with a lot of these projects. So for a person that might, for whatever reason, be interested in these costumes or how I made them, I decided that going back and forth with these vlogs, it's really, it's not really useful. So I decided I'm going to make a video similar to the one that I did in regards to the things that I made for the festival, the outfits. And I'm going to do one video for the Celtic outfits, explaining them and then pulling out the outfit. And then I'm going to do the same one for the Snow White one. And that way I can explain a little bit better, and it's all in there. And also, of course, is the idea of putting it on with the makeup, with all of the accessories, and kind of doing the finishing project in total. So yeah, I have to say, honestly, this vlog, I do think it helped me a lot. So great idea, and you know, just happy to share it.
First things first, they are still doing works outside, so if you hear a lot of noise, I'm sorry, it is what it is. In any case, this video is an update, and first of all, it's a connection, actually, of things. The first thing is that I realized that in my vlogs I talk mainly about clothes, because that's what I mainly do, which fair enough, it is what I do. However, I am also creative in other ways, but I often don't showcase them, or maybe I do them and then I forget, or maybe I do it fast. So because of all those reasons, I think I've shown you just a couple of creative decisions or tiny things that I have made. So I decided that I'm going to make a whole separate video about it, because if I add it here, it might get a bit too long. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna create a whole video just showcasing you just of the tiny creative details that I have in my room that are very important, because for me, turning my space where I create a space that it says something a bit about me, that also leads me to be more creative. It's, you know, a combination of factors, and I'm quite happy with some of the things that I have achieved, so I wanted to share it with you. And that was the first thing. Now the second thing are the updates. It's basically done, and I still can't believe it. It's such a weird feeling, but it is. The Celtic and Snow White costumes are basically done. Again, I might add things in the future. I'm not saying that it is closed and done for forever, but for what they are, I'm okay with that. I already been thinking about the makeup and some of the accessories, so I cannot wait to just put it all on and showcase it to you in all of the details, so I can go a little bit more on the inside. And yes, I'm actually quite excited about that. And of course, that leads to, then what? Well, I have already thought about the next project that I'm going to work on, but first I wanted to kind of do the ones that I already have, like finishing it, and then I wanted to start thinking about it, because I feel that I already made my mind in regards to what I'm going to be working on, but I want to be a bit more clear in regards to what I'm going to do, and, you know, going to be more certain about it.
Okay, I have updates. Now, mainly, I've been trying to find a good day to film me showing you the costumes that I've made, but I haven't had that much luck. I'm going to be thinking about it. I do hope that I can do it before
the end of the month because I don't want to take too long to upload the videos, considering that after filming I need to edit and all of that. But anyway, in regards to the future projects, I have them. I'm not gonna show it to you yet because I'm still kind of giving myself space to be sure. One thing is for certain, I decided a while ago that I love embroidery, always have. Ages ago, a relative of mine taught me a little bit, but then I left it and it was so long that it always remained in my mind. And I do think it's a beautiful type of art and creative style. So I basically have been working on just kind of getting an idea of how to do it. And a while ago, I took this piece of fabric that I had. Now, this one is for, I think that has a name, a particular type of embroidery. And yeah, I tried some things, but I wasn't too certain. So I decided maybe it's this type of fabric. So I went for a thicker fabric, and I already had the tambourine around, and it's type of threads that I already have. So I just been playing a little bit. I really have tried some, stayed on some kind of very simple designs, but also playing a little bit with dimension and movement, and I really like it. I think it's so beautiful, and of course I'm just at the start. But there is a project, a sort of tiny project that I want to finish, and I want to try to use this basically as a tryout. But use this tryout to work on a real piece. I don't want to show it because it's actually also, I'm planning on gifting it. So I don't want any of this to be shown. But that's the idea basically, is to use the embroidery for, something. And also because I really, there's so many projects where I thought I could add stuff and it would look lovely. But because I don't know how to do it, at the risk of, ruining the fabric, I rather not do it. So now that's okay. I have the space, I have the time to do something different. So let's just begin. And yay! October is over. It was a very chill month, to be honest. I didn't have to do that much because most of it I already made, and it took me longer to kind of take the pictures in a decent day. But in any case, for next month, I have things that I want to do, but because I'm gonna be out for a little bit, I decided to go for easy projects. For the embroidery part, I'm going to work on 2 projects. I made the one that is for a gift, and when I'm going to gift that, I'll show to you. But for this month, I have other 2 things that I want to work on. This should be very simple, but I wanted to work on them because I want to, do some exercise and also detail and understand a little bit how the whole thing works. So I have 2 very, I think, nice but simple projects to do that. Now, I do want to say that for the costumes I already made, I already have level ups in my head, but I don't think I'm gonna do them now. It's going to be one of those things that whenever I maybe don't feel like doing anything or don't feel like I have something to work on, I can go through those. But for now, they're gonna be nice, easy as they are. But as a costume, I do have something that I want to work on this month. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I already took out the pieces that I'll be working on. It's on the box where I put all of the things that I want to work on. And yeah, I just need to kind of sit down and put everything together, think of the details, the accessories and all of that. But it's a fun one. I'm really excited about that. And that's kind of it for November. Easy month. Also October was kind of an easy month, and I'm quite happy. I hope your month went well. I hope your Halloween went also very fun and you were able to feel creative in whatever you were. See you in a month.